At the peak of globalization, the increased geographical dispersion of value chain members has translated into larger volumes of cargo movement over greater distances by sea, air, and land. This development has necessitated the need to engage freight forwarders in facilitating the movement and flow of cargo to different destinations. While many countries have seized the opportunity to insert themselves into the different value chains of product by integrating freight forwarding activities to enhance trade, most of the sub-Saharan African countries are yet to do so. On the show today, we'll bring you highlights of our chat with the founder of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAFF, Boniface Aniebonam. Welcome to Business Insights on PlusTvAfrica. I am Justin Akadonye. First off, the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, AMBAN, has vowed to ensure the implementation of the frameworks put in place by the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure compliance by members. National President of AMBAN, Victor Olojo, flanked by other officials, said this while addressing newsmen on some issues raised by the House Committee on Banking and Currency with regards to agency banking and financial inclusion. Take a look. The impact of mobile money and agency banking hit a crescendo in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown, with active point-of-sale terminals used by merchants for financial transactions recording about 3.1 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2021. The increase in the value of POS transactions in Nigeria shows the spending patterns of Nigerians and payment preferences, reaching all nook and cranny and, by extension, deepening the nation's financial inclusion drive. However, there have been complaints of proliferation of agents, lack of KYC, to even issues of theft and other fraudulent activities. The AMBAN executive spoke of a task force for self-regulation while clarifying other grey areas.
Just take one of the case studies. Part of the framework of the CBN is that a mobile money or bank agent should be in a brick and mortar location, like an address that is traceable. But what we have today are agents under umbrellas, trees. We have agents who are hawking this terminal.
Rising from our 5th AMBA Annual National Conference held in Abuja last year, one of the resolutions that came out of our robust deliberations with all critical stakeholders was to begin self-regulation using our task force.
Victor Olojo lamented that the members are often on the receiving end when it came to counterfeited bills and other fraudulent activities, making a renewed call for adequate trading.
There was a robbery case that happened in the East, and somebody's phone was snatched, and those bad guys came to Lagos. They took the SIM and transferred the funds to an agent. And the agent innocently actually served that customer, not knowing that that customer is actually, an armed robber.
What we find out now is that those merchants now turn their outlet to mobile money agent outlet, and that's not what POS is meant for. And those that give out the POS know that this is what is going on, but they will not query them because what they want money.
The growth in the number of POS businesses in the country has formed a major source of employment for Nigerians, especially the youths. Welcome back. The ongoing reforms by the federal government of Nigeria aimed at increasing efficiencies, improving transparencies, and adding value to the economy of the nation has been extended to the freight forwarding subsector, thus giving birth to the Council for Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, CRFFN. The Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria Act No. 16, 2007 was enacted into law on the 30th of April the same year. The Council is charged with, among other responsibilities, regulating and controlling the practice of freight forwarding in Nigeria and promoting the high standards of competence, practice, and conduct among members of the profession. Let's take that interview with the founder of NAGAFF, Boniface Aniebonam.
CRFFN is domiciled in the transport industry, and it's most unfortunate, and that's where we are. And I'm surprised. I am surprised. You know, sometimes you look at certain things, you just laugh. That one of the APC candidates who was in charge of transport ministry could not manage CRFFN, ordinary election, and the same person want to become the president of Nigeria. This is the kind of thing you see. A council that is not a parastatal of the government, in your watch, is being propagated as an agency of the government. Even when the matter is in appeal court. So it's a lot of things are wrong in our country. Let me tell you about the port. As far as cargo movement is concerned, if they don't get CRFFN to be working, the freight forwarders are the most strategic people in the port in terms of moving cargo in and out of the port environment. They are the artery of the economy. Very strategic. So we need to get them right. And that is what CRFFN is expected to address. Because it's in the transport ministry, it's not working. How many years now? Since 2007. It's as bad as that. As I'm speaking to you, and I understand that they are somewhere in the Eko, they are holding. Which meeting are they holding? When they are in positions, you impose leadership in default, in contravention of the statute. So you start something to fail, it does not work. The port, as it were, became privatized or became concessioned. What are the ingredients of doing so? One is that our port is expected to be competitive. The cost of doing business is expected to reduce by 30% the first 6 months. Where are we? I don't know. We can be repeating ourselves every day. Doesn't make sense. One, the leadership must have at least a little knowledge of what you are discussing. Even if you don't have, get the people, experts that you can get their ear. The port is the gateway of the nation's economy. You need to get it right. So it's all about leadership. Putting the right person in the right place to carry on with that particular function. Nigeria is endowed with, good resourceful persons and all that. So what's our problem? If you like to be talking about this, you keep on talking from now till tomorrow. We've been talking about all this. Because you can churn out documents every day. 1999, we issued a document, the need for a deep sea port with Obakra, the Oba of Badagry, during Obasanjo and all that. We talked about Nigeria becoming a hub for the African region, in particular, say, West Africa. Look at the opportunities. 20, 21 years now, they're beginning to talk of this seaport. 20 years ago, we talked about that our port is going into second degree of development. Dangote is springing up, flour mills springing up inside the port, taking space. Therefore, there is likely to be an upsurge, a problem. We need an external terminals where service trucks can be deployed and to be called, to be invited when needed. Nobody listening. You can see what's happening in Apapa now. 19 years ago, thereabout, we advocated that the inroads to the ports at Apapa can need to be expanded 8 lanes to accommodate the traffic, the cargo throughput. You can see what is going on. You can go on and go on. You understand? It's not about resources. The resources are there. The money that the accountant general carried, we do all these things and do more. Do you understand? And so, before you know it now, is it not the same man who feigned to have a spinal injury? You understand? When he was arraigned in court. But he didn't know that the camera would pick him. And we are laughing over it. It's as bad as that. Everything is about leadership. You know, when you are not in a place, they bury somebody. If you want to exhume the body, start from the lake. Those involved in the leadership of CRFFN do not know anything about CRFFN. What CRFFN stand, the mischief is supposed to cure. And that is the problem. I have just told you. How did we start about CRFFN? CRFFN came when NAGAFF approached FIATA. I was the president of NAGAFF in 1999, the first president of NAGAFF. And I discovered that, look, Nigeria, we have 4 seats in the Federation of Freight Forwarders, International Federation of Freight Forwarders. We have headquarters in Zurich. The 4 seats belonging to Nigeria are not there. When we applied for membership, Issa Baluchi then was the president. The next we saw was petition from our sister associations. And they claimed to have been in existence in 1954. And they didn't know that Nigeria is not found in that global body. That led to my inviting Issa Baluchi, the then president of FIATA. He came to Nigeria, we had a meeting. He met with later John Madeko as Minister of Transport. And the next thing, he now advised that we need to get a legislation, to bring everybody, the contending voices, to one. And that I took off with NAGAFF and, started the process through the National Assembly. Of course, indeed, the Nigerian Shippers Council came to our help. It's a long story. Something is wrong with us. Something is wrong with us. And that is wrong with us is leadership. And in our ability to enforce laws of the land. You make laws, the laws should be enforced. If you don't obey the law, the enforcement unit will enforce you. That is the coercive nature of government when you are to the contrary. So it's about leadership. It's a simple thing, even in your home. When there is no leadership in your simple domestic home, you see the children are here and there. Because there is nobody taking charge. That's it. They are not difficult things for you. Keep saying this, they are not rocket science. They are things that we all know every day that this is what we ought to do. What custom is trying to do is to respond to the cries of the people, of those who come to do business with the customs. Custom is trying to solve the problem of you clearing your cargo, for instance, the cars, out of custom control. Along the road, somebody holds you, an officer of the custom again, and say, look, the duty is not appropriate. And then you start all over again. While you are not a freight forwarder, your goods have been cleared out of custom control through a due process. Even if it is not through a due process, it came out from the port. And the port is an enclosure. It's a restricted, though commercial. That is on one part. Those that smuggle those goods inside, that's a different thing. That's outright smuggling, untrue declarations, or what we call outright smuggling and all that, But those who went through the ports and cleared their goods out, and they're still having problem on the road. Well, you cannot separate whatever might be the malfeasance or the difficulties. Custom is part of the society, right? There could be one person or the other. It's just like any other Nigerian. Now, the management of the custom now decided to use a process that will solve the problem once and for all. Every vehicle has what they call VIN number, vehicle identification number. That vehicle identification number will tell you the year of manufacture of that car. And with that, the custom will go ahead and process, the duty, assess the duty you're supposed to pay. The problem came when custom did not give into account what they call depreciation value of the car. So I think that was the hue and cry. But that has been resolved, and that will show you the response of customs when issues are raised and they are germane issues, and that has been resolved, and things are working out properly now. No problem.
Hope you found the interview insightful. We will now leave you with useful insight on how to write an informal business proposal. I am Justin Akadonye. See you again next time.
Writing an informal proposal. The thought of writing a proposal overwhelms many people, but the task does not have to be daunting. Informal proposals are written when people need to ask permission to make a purchase, undertake a project, or write a paper. This type of proposal is a way of persuasively putting forth an idea and asking for action to be taken on that idea. When writing a proposal, consider who will read the proposal and what that person may or may not already know about what you are proposing. Follow these steps when writing a proposal. 1. State your purpose. Do this clearly and concisely so that the reader knows immediately why you are writing. 2. Give some background information. Explain why you are proposing your suggestion so that the reader has a better understanding of the problem. 3. State a solution to the problem. This is where you give specifics about your suggestion. 4. Show costs. Lay out any costs that will be involved. 5. Conclusion. Wrap it up by restating the problem and the proposed solution.
Five ways to revive a dying business. Is your business showing signs of distress, or is it straight up thanking? There are simple measures you can take to bring it back from the brink. Your business might be dying, but it doesn't have to mean it's over. Here are 5 things you can do to save your dying business and also help it thrive. 1. Evaluate your situation honestly. Before physicians treat a patient, they do all kinds of tests and make a diagnosis. So when you realize that your business is in serious trouble, stop. You need to take a good hard look at your company to evaluate and assess what's going wrong. You can't take action without knowing where to start. 2nd, rethink your strategy. The way you think about your failure is key to your success. After reevaluating your company, chances are you have found where you went wrong and you're ready to redefine and rethink your strategy. You have decided not to give up and you are determined to succeed. This is a great step in reviving a dying business, but is also a hard one. 3. Focus on your people. You may think that the problem is in your software, hardware, or your data, but the best business are the ones that run with soul. Your most important asset are your people, your employees. When your company seems to be falling, reevaluate not just your strategy, but those who need to execute it. If necessary, get rid of those who are slowing you down and hire those who will help you revive your dying business. 4. Let go of pride and fear. Rather than playing the blame game, which will get you nowhere, successful CEOs and business leaders know that admitting their faults and showing genuine humility will help rebuild and reboost their organization. When business leaders are unwilling to change or stick to preconceived ideas of what they think will work, it is a recipe for disaster. And 5, don't lose your passion. Now, passion is what made you start your business in the first place, and it will help you to keep going. Passion may not always come with the voice of reason, but it may be the fuel you need to reignite that fire. So you see, your business can actually thrive.